guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a young subscriber. This is a guy, he's 22 years old. He's in finishing up school. He's studying to be an electrical engineer. Guy's doing really well for himself. He's got a good solid plan going. And recently he decided he wants to go into the Army Reserves, become an officer after school. And as a perk of that, they'll take care of all student loans, that type of thing. The thing is, and the reason he's writing in is that he has a girlfriend. He has a girlfriend he's had for a year now. He describes the relationship as going really well. He says she's traditional, loyal, supportive, all these positive things. And obviously he's on the fence how to handle things with her if he goes on the path of going in the military. As many of you are well aware in the stories I've done or things you've heard from people you know, that it's pretty much doomed to go in the military with a girlfriend or wife or something like that. You've all heard these stories, and he's aware of that. And so he wants to know if he thinks that he should cut ties with her and go off on and forge his own path, or risk it and have, the same type of thing happen in the stories you've heard before, happen to him one day down the road. And so that'd be a very good one to go over here, a good refresher course to really, and I'm going to go through his email in a moment and then talk about three very important things. One, why I have the opinion I do about relationships and marriage in the military, which many of you guys can obviously see where I'm going with that. Number two, how a young guy in his 22 years old, from about 16 years old through the early 20s, really sets the stage for where your life's going to go. And you have to really be careful in the choices you make and things like that. And three, how pretty much society has it out, the narrative that men pretty much need to give up all their hopes and dreams to be for the relationship, for the girl, that type of thing. And guys fall into that and the dangers of that and why you can't do that. So this is definitely a good one for all guys across the board, particularly the young guys that are at the point where they're making major decisions for their lives. He says here, hello SSM. I'm a 22-year-old male looking to take advantage of an opportunity presented to me by the military reserves. I've been studying electrical engineering and will be starting my final year in the fall. While looking for potential internships through my school, I came across the military reserves and the benefits almost seemed too good to be true. They propose I attend basic training in the summer, advanced in the winter, and officer training following graduation, all the while getting my loans paid for. This appears to be a great opportunity for me to build experience while obtaining military benefits that I continue to reap after school. The issue is that I have a serious girlfriend. I've been sitting here for a year and things are going great. Well, I get it's been a year, and a year is not a month, but when you're my age, a year is like just getting started. And I bet guys there in their 60s and 70s watch like a year is like a fucking week. So, bro, okay, you're serious with her, but it's not that long. I don't mean to diss you or anything like that. I really don't mean to come out that we're condescending, but you got to understand a year is not that long. When you're 21 years old, 22, it does feel long. It says here, she's also 22 years old. I commute to school, and she works full-time at a bank, wanting to become a notary. She is not my first, but I am hers. I'm quite confident about that. She lives in a traditional household, takes care of herself, and communicates with me directly. She's very encouraging about this opportunity I mentioned. However, I've heard the horror stories and the advice of don't date, get married while in the military. So you haven't just heard it from me or my channel, you've heard it from other people. Since I'm going into the reserves, I'm not spending months and months away from home, and her being very encouraging tells me that I should continue the relationship. The basic training is 10 weeks and the officer training is 12 weeks. Well, I'm not sure how long advanced is, but they're not all back to back. Am I making the right choice here? Or am I setting myself up for heartbreak? Thanks. So, before I get into anything, I just want to say one thing. Make sure you're going into the military here for the right reasons. Not just so you can have the benefits of having your loans taken care of and all that. I want you to be serious about this. Because many of men have gone to the military to do what they had to do to protect their loved ones, because they love their country, all that type of thing. and not for what they can get out of it. So I want to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You owe it to those men who sacrifice so much to be doing it for the right reasons. That way you can benefit out of that. I mean to be lecturing you, but I got to make that abundantly clear. And I might add, if you're going to become an officer, you're going to have lives in your hand. Men that are going to be looking up to you for guidance, and you get the point. So you need to make sure that, again, you're 100% serious. You love your country. You want to serve it, that type of thing, for multiple reasons. And if you're in this just half-assed because so you can benefit from that, I would reconsider that decision. But on the basis that you are doing this for the right reasons, in addition to the perks of, having your loans taken care of and all that, and you are a guy that can lead, and you get the point there, then I say go for it, of course. But do it for the right reasons. I got to make that abundantly clear. I'm sure the military guys in here will agree with me. That being said, you've heard, I've done countless videos, and I'm sure you've heard some of them, about guys that get into serious relationships or are married before they're deployed or while they're in the military, and they end in disaster. Countless stories I've done, and tens of thousands of dudes commenting from all walks of life, how personal experience that happened to friends of theirs, to not do it. And that is why I wholeheartedly think, whether it's the reserves or not, that if you're going to do this, that you end it with her. Okay? And as best as possible, do it in the most loving, caring way as possible. Because if she's been a good girlfriend to you, she deserves you to be kind about it and respectful and all that. And if she's deeply in love with you, that ain't going to be easy. Okay, but you got to take care of you. You have no idea where going down this path will take you. You have no idea. And I might add, you're going to be away training all summer long, and then another training in the winter, and then officers training. That's a lot of time away. And when gals get lonely, you get the point, It's just best, in my opinion, to break it off, and at the very least, you can say, I got to do what's best for me. I have no idea what the future may hold. And maybe down the road, when I'm out of the military, if you're still single, I'm single, something like that. You got to do what's best for you. Now, she's not going to take it very well. And the likelihood is that she's going to cry and beg and plead and negotiate and promise you the world. And when that doesn't work, you're going to probably get her yelling at you saying that you're giving up the best thing that ever happened to you and blah, blah, blah. And one day you'll look back and realize you made the biggest mistake of your life, blah, blah, blah. And I get she's hurt. But at the end of the day, there's 8 billion people on the planet and half are women. So it doesn't work out with her, who may be a rare catch. Guess what? You'll be able to find others. Because as a young guy, on your grind, making something of yourself, a military officer, believe me, you're going to have no shortage of gals coming your way. You're going to have pussy falling from the sky at you, my friend. I mean, literally, you'll be out walking your dog and you'll be dodging all the pussy falling from the sky trying to hit you. So you're going to have no problem. So don't buy into the whole, you'll never get someone as good as me and that shit. And be prepared that you're going to have her friends, mutual friends, your friends, maybe her family, maybe your family, giving you shit too. You have to do what's best for you. Even if if it's an avalanche of people coming at you telling you you're making the mistake. If in your heart you know this is what you got to do, and you listen to experienced, wise men who are twice your age telling you the same thing, then you got to do that. And of course, it will be hard. Of course, you'll be having a roller coaster of emotions and thoughts and second guessing yourself. But if you have to do what's best for you. You're 22. If I can go back in time at 22 and tell myself some things, I certainly would. I made a lot of good decisions at 22, and I made bad decisions at 22 and, that time period too. I don't want you to have regrets. You have to do what's best for you and do what's best for your life. And again, the decisions a lot of guys make between typically 16 years old and early 20s will set the stage for the rest of their life. If you don't believe me, the guys in the comment section will comment away. Ask guys that are older, and they'll tell you that. And if that means you have to obviously hurt some people along the way, not intentionally, of course, then it's going to happen that way. But you have to take care of you. And I'm going to end with this. We all know darn well if the situation was reversed and she had a fantastic opportunity presented to her and she decided to do what's best for her, darn well that everybody would be celebrating her for being strong and stunning and brave or whatever by breaking up with a guy and doing what's best for her. But if a guy does it, then he is the devil incarnate. He is the root of all evil. You can't buy into that. But it's BS that the narrative is that way. And I guarantee you, bro, you'll look back. And also, like I said before, you have no idea what path you're going to go on going down this in the military. You have no idea what will happen, where you're going to end up, where you're going to live. And there's just been too many examples and stories when these things go to hell in a handbasket. At this stage in your life, your purpose has to be everything. Okay? You're going to have your whole life for relationships, and eventually, if you want to go down the path, a wife and children, all that. You're young, you're 22, your whole life is ahead of you. You must understand that. And if you cave to your emotions or cave to what other people do and their manipulation games and tactics and all that, you're going to regret it. And I don't want that to happen to you. We have so many young guys out there that just don't have the guidance that they need. And I'm happy that I can do my part for the few guys that write into me and offer some advice and use this platform that they can share their stories. And other dudes all around the world have been around the block and have learned the hard way. They share what the young guys should do. So, bro, at the very least, really think hard. And I know you don't have to make this decision now, like today, but I would really consider this. And then you got to do it. And this is an example where in life, guys, we all have to make tough decisions, okay? And my friend, if you're going to become an officer, you may find yourself in a position to even make tough decisions. You have to make the best of the worst decisions. You know, you'll have shitty options, but you have to make the best shitty option. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you want to do. And at the end of the day, if what you want to do is not what I say, then you got to do what you want to do. You know, I'm just giving you some advice. You wrote in, asking my opinion, asking the community's opinion, and so I'm giving it to you. So I really do hope that you make the right decision, and I wish you all the best. You're a young guy on his grind, on his purpose, and I respect that immensely. So, and I also respect that you want to go serve and be in the military. I really appreciate that. You know, appreciate your service. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Please, guys, let this guy know what you think. Especially you men in the military, please let him know on the basis of relationships in the military and advice for being in the military. Any officers out there can give us some advice. Anybody that can help, just take 30 seconds of your time. Even longer if you have the time. That can really help this guy out. And I don't want to make the wrong choice. And also, chime in about the fact that you know darn well if you've been in this position, that he's going to get bombarded by her friends, mutual friends, all trying to convince him he's making the big mistake. And I might add, those people are going to try to, who are experts in love and relationships, are probably in college. They're not exactly have a whole lot of life experience. And as for the older people telling him probably he's going to be in the wrong, and I guarantee it's going to happen, get this, half marriages end in divorce. And the other people that are married are usually unhappy. So I wouldn't take their advice too strongly either. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.